thank you very much for joining our webinar entitled Funding Your Education. Over the next few moments or so, we'll be discussing how McMaster University helps high school students pursuing their first year of undergraduate studies and some of the ways you are able to finance your education through the support as well as the timelines for this. If you're looking to transfer into McMaster or from another university, or you're a mature student or interested in graduate studies, we're happy to direct you to the relevant resources, but this information session is focused on undergraduate studies here at the university. In the next 20 minutes or so, we'll be covering quite a lot of information. We'll look at financial aid support for undergraduate students. Our goal is to provide you with a clear understanding of the funding options available to guide you through the application process to help you make an informed decision. We'll begin by exploring the different types of financial support, including scholarship and awards, bursaries and needs-based assistance, as well as government loans that you might be able to access depending on where in the world you're situated. Next, we'll walk you through the process of applying for awards at McMaster, focusing on our Award Spring platform, as well as some of the key deadlines. To help you plan ahead, we'll review the timing for award processing, from application review to payment and what that looks like. We'll also highlight some additional sources of funding, such as work programs, co-op opportunity, and scholarships that are available for upper year students once you've transitioned to McMaster. Finally, we'll also have a Q&A session at the end. Be sure to share your questions through the chat or the Q&A box that you see on the Zoom platform. Before we get underway, though, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that McMaster University is located on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee nations. We always like to encourage prospective students to learn more about where our students, staff, and faculty work, live, and learn. Those who live, study, and work here have a responsibility to care for the land and share the resources with each other in a peaceful manner, as laid out within the dish with one spoon agreement with the Indigenous people of this land. McMaster seeks a new relationship with the Indigenous people of this land based on deep respect and honor. And it is important for us to join those joining the community to understand this. My name is Andy. I'm here with the recruitment office. I've been supporting students on their journey. Joining me on the webinar today as well are a couple of colleagues, Toby and Nicole, who are supporting behind the scenes. You may hear from them potentially as we go through our Q&A component, but delighted to have you join us. So, what does financial support look like for incoming undergraduate students at McMaster University? Well, there are various entrance scholarships and awards. These can be based either on merit, things like exceptional leadership, or outstanding achievement from you, the students. There are also bursaries intended to assist students who are in financial need with education-related expenses. They're neither bursaries or scholarships are paid back when they're given to you. So essentially, money that is given to you that you keep. International students enrolled in level 2 or higher may be eligible to apply for some bursaries at McMaster. There are also government loans. International students, of course, are not eligible for the Ontario Student Assistance Program, or OSAP, as we call it for short, but we encourage you to look at various opportunities that might be available in your region, whether it's loans or grants through your home country if you're not joining us from Ontario or from a region in Canada. If you are studying within Canada and applying to McMaster as a domestic student, you'll have access to a variety of entrance awards, as you see here on this slide. First, there are automatic entrance awards. To give you an example of some, there's the McMaster University Entrance Award that ranges between $1,000 to $3,000. There are also faculty-specific awards that can be distributed to students joining us at this level of study. You can get one of these awards in this category, and with automatic entrance awards, you are not required to take any steps such as applying, because as the name indicates, they're automatic. This is calculated based on your final admission average once McMaster receives your mark at the end of your last year of secondary school. The next type of entrance award and bursaries are the by application entrance awards, and there are 60 plus of these awards available at the university. These are a wonderful opportunity for students. They're wonderful opportunities for students who self-identify as Black, such as applying to the Brighter World Entrance Awards. There's an example like the General Motors Entrance Scholar, which is a great opportunity for female students enrolled in the Faculty of Engineering. In these first two, similar to the other category, the automatic entrance awards, you can get one of these types of awards in this category. There are also other financial awards that you will have to apply on McMaster's Award Spring platform to receive. These range from access awards for students with demonstrated need. Their financial awards based on various criteria. Some examples might include the Marjorie Anderson Financial Award, faculty-specific entrance awards. You may have heard of the Loran Award. You could get multiple of these options after you've been reviewed through your Award Spring platform. And there are also entrance bursaries. These are only available for domestic students, however. If you're an international fee-paying student, there is a similar structure that we follow here at the university in that there are automatic awards by application and awards that are specific to you as students joining us from outside of Canada. For the automatic entrance awards, again, no application is required. They range between $1,000 to $3,000, with faculty-specific awards that range between $500 to $15,000, depending on your academic background based on your final admission average at the end of your journey or the details that we have for you as of June 30th. 2026, if you're a 2026 applicant. In relation to the by application awards, the McMaster University Entrance Award, which is, we'll elaborate on this in a moment, but this is our newest opportunity where you may receive up to $200,000 over 4 years. There are also faculty administered awards that range between $5,000 to $3,000. And similar to the other category, you could get one of these awards in this category. Some of the other financial awards available include international specific by application award, and the criteria will vary whether it is involvement in your community, leadership, or other factors, and you can get multiple of these. As I mentioned in a few moments ago, bursaries are not available until year two if you are joining us international from as an international student. So among the $20 million the McMaster University gives out each year, you'll find the McMaster University Award of Excellence. This award is among the largest available for international students at a university in Canada. The award honors outstanding students with high academic achievement and co-curricular activities. It's renewable in year 2, 3, and 4 for a total of 4 years, and students are required to remain in the same faculty. Some of the general criteria you will find related to this award is it'll be granted in accordance by the requirements set out by each faculty associated with the award. All recipients also have to meet some general criteria. The award, you can, as you apply for this, the McMaster University Award of Excellent recipient will typically have strong history of academic excellence, demonstrate a commitment to community service and excellence, show great potential as a student scholar at McMaster University, and exemplify the values that McMaster holds close to us, which are values of excellence, engagement, and personal growth. This award is available for a number of faculties, but it's not for all programs across the board. On this slide, you'll see our breakdown. You may be wondering how many of these scholarships exist. So as you'll see on the slide, there's more than a dozen of these with allocations by department or faculty as listed on the slide. The value available for each faculty is also summarized. So if you've viewed McMaster's cost estimator, the values of these awards are significant and has the potential to cover a strong majority of your tuition cost if you were selected recipient of the award. And so you'll see the relevant faculties here, including business, science, humanities, social sciences, and engineering. And of course, you apply to this on Award Spring. Another way to finance your education to McMaster is also accessing a loan. If you're a student in Ontario, you likely are aware of the OSAP or Ontario Student Assistance Program. These opportunities may be available to you depending on where you live. If you're joining us from a different region in Canada or province in Canada, it's very likely that your provincial government has a department called government aid or student aid or student loans. If you search that online, you'll be on your government's website, you'll be able to find that as it's consistent across the country. The Ontario Student Assistance Program has been around for quite some time, and it's a wonderful opportunity to access some loans to be able to support your education, post-secondary education. So, how do you apply for the various awards that we've mentioned? After submitting your general application to McMaster, you'll have to access what's called Award Spring. Your Award Spring dashboard will show all the awards that you're eligible for. You will click through the awards to see if they require supplemental documents like reference letters or statements of interest. The preferred format is usually PDF with no uh, special characters in the titles, and you'll be able to upload that to your application portal through AwardSpring. While exploring the awards you're eligible for, you'll be able to see more details of what's required as well. In order to first access AwardSpring, you will have to activate your McMaster login called your Mac ID. This is the same information that's used to access your admission portal to determine if you've been admitted to the university or not. Once you have that login, you'll be able to fill out the general application, and the deadline to do so is February 19th, 2026 if you're applying for September 2026 admission. Your award spring application will begin with learning more about your academic information. Do you identify as a member of asking information such as do you identify as a member of an equity deserving group? This will help. This is an opportunity to speak to any activities that you might want to highlight, whether it's academic or non-academic. You will have the ability to speak to any of your strengths and potential and any lived experiences or shared experiences you've had as comfortable as you are sharing that information. Next, you'll fill out information about your financial background. You can declare if you're a student in financial need and provide the relevant document, as well as potentially as proof of income, parental income, to help the awards team at McMaster better understand your profile. Proof of income could also include income tax documentation or pay stubs. You can see the screenshot here uh, on the slide to understand the type of documentation and how that converts to Canadian dollars if you're joining us from outside of Canada. So when you apply, the deadline, of course, is February 19th, though there are some documents in some situations, engineering specific awards have a February 21st deadline by 11:59 p.m. Toronto time, but the other categories you'll have until February 26th, so about a week or so after you've submitted your general application to upload those documents. Now let's turn to the timeline and what this might look like if you're September 2026 students. Automatic entrance awards or grace-based awards will be included in your offer of admission letter. And so you'll be able to learn about this once you've reviewed those documents. Working our way back, though, from summer 2026 in August, this is when you'll receive confirmation of the automatic entrance awards that you will be receiving. This is based on your academic performance, as mentioned earlier. And so, based on your details on your final material sent to McMaster University or transmitted to McMaster University, will pay out based on that amount. When does the payout happen for the awards? You'll be credited to your McMaster student account in September. So in the few weeks after you've started your studies, the amounts will be added to your McMaster account, typically in mid to late September. And as we get closer to that time frame, if you are an applicant, you'll find the specific date on the documentation as well as on our website for 2026. As we mentioned earlier, though, the application is due in mid to late February through Award Springs. Our review process, once you've submitted your application, happens between February until the end of March. After our team assesses the applications that have been completed and submitted, the recipients will be emailed sometime between March and May, and you'll be informed through this. This means that you'll only receive an email if you have been awarded a particular scholarship. Finally, the funds, as I mentioned, are deposited in mid-September. In terms of additional funding, there are opportunities to participate in work programs at McMaster University. For the work programs, they are available to students who demonstrate financial needs. For these roles, you typically are eligible to work part-time, around 10 hours per week during the school year, starting in year two. In the summer months, university summers are 4 months long. So in the summer months, you'll be able to work full-time during your 4 months after year one. There are various roles across campus, such as administrative support, supporting research, working at libraries within our athletic center. There are hundreds or numerous opportunities that you can pursue. If you're an international student, there's also the international student work opportunity. This is not based on financial need. It's for students who are in year two and above, and it doesn't involve previous work experience. And you can apply to these opportunities through Award Spring. Continuing with additional funding, there are bursaries for international students that you can submit an application towards after first year. You may not uh, if you're following along, these, of course, are accessible through Award Spring, which is the place that you'll be submitting your applications for. There are also co-op opportunities. This is wonderful to connect in a role, whether it's on off campus or on campus, in opportunities that are aligned to what you're studying in the classroom. They're a great way of not only being paid, but learning what your journey might look like after you've studied at McMaster University. We have a webinar that's coming up. I would encourage you to check out our website, future.mcmaster.ca, where you register for this website to participate in our upcoming webinar and learn more about the Canadian learning and work experience. Other information that I would want to highlight in terms of funding your education includes undergraduate in-course scholarships. There are opportunities to receive travel and exchange scholarships, which support, as the name says, travel and exchange to other locations around the world. On McMaster Global website, you'll be able to view a list of all the exchange opportunities that are available at McMaster. The last time I checked, there were approximately 98 or so opportunities for traveling around to other parts of the world. There are also graduating student scholarships that are given out to you, and the values of these will vary. There are also other information sessions recordings that are available on our website that you can take a look at to help with your planning as well. And then before we transition to questions, I also want to remind you of the other recordings that we've hosted as part of our global webinar series. If you scan this QR code, you'll be taken to that website where you can review all of the topics here. So if you are watching this on the recording, thank you very much for joining us. We'll now transition to Q&A. If you are watching on the recording, you can always email us through our website by clicking on the Contact Us section or joining us, sending your questions through live chat. But for those who are joining us online live, we'll now transition to questions. I will open up my chat to look at the questions that have been submitted. The next question that I see in the Q&A box is: the university offers scholarships through its own resources or through charitable organizations? So that's a great question. You'll see there are various combinations of awards on the Award Spring platform, as well as through our website. Automatic entrance awards are funded funded by the university. But in some of the earlier slides, you would have noticed, though, there are external awards that are funded by external organizations. So there's the short answer to that question is there's a combination of to both. Next question I'm seeing here is someone indicating that they're a Canadian living in Egypt. Uh, what is the deadline for applying to OSAP? So the deadline for applying to OSAP is normally a few months before, typically June, before your uh, start to McMaster. As a Canadian living abroad, however, you'd likely want to double check the OSAP regulations in terms of accessing those loan programs and being physically present in Canada, as there might be some limitations there. Another question from a student indicating they live outside of Canada but still Canadian. Do the international student awards or scholarships apply to the student? So for Canadian citizens, on the award portal, you will see the notation of international fee-paying students versus Canadian. And so as you go through the application process, if you are Canadian, but there's a requirement for that particular award being dispersed to international fee-paying students, it may be a situation where you are not eligible for those opportunities. So certainly read through those, but there is a distinction where it indicates fee-paying versus Canadian. Next question I'm seeing, can you provide sneak peeks as well as tips and tricks on the questions that will be asked for the scholarships and how to answer them? Um, in relation to those questions, I covered that a few slides ago. So the questions typically revolve around your involvement in your community, potentially leadership or other factors that are relevant to that award. You'll have an opportunity to review those directly on the award portal, and it's a matter of simply addressing those questions to the best of your abilities, or as I would have shared earlier, submitting documentation to complement the information that the question is getting at, whether it's your financial profile or recommendation documentation to help reinforce the nature of the question or address that question. In terms of OSAP deadlines, so that's someone is asking to repeat that. That's usually a few months before you're starting at McMaster. To my recollection, typically that is in June. But if you visit the OSAP website, you'll see that specific time frame there. Are there scholarships related to sports? Wonderful question. There are scholarships available at McMaster through sports, but those are governed through regulation by the various athletics association, whether it's provincial or national. And for the most part, there are limitations on the amounts that can be given out to students. I would encourage you to check out the website of the Ontario University Athletics Association, or marauders.ca, which is the McMaster Athletics Department's website, to better understand those. Generally speaking, the way athletic awards work is there's a common pool of funds, and coaching staff get together to determine how those amounts are dispersed uh, over the course of the year for the relevant athletes and students. The next question I see on my list here is how many letters of recommendations are needed. So that will vary. You will have a clear idea of that on the AwardSpring portal of what documentation is needed. The next question involves, do most scholarships require an essay or questions answered? Can they just look at grades? So in the earlier slide, we discussed the criteria. So automatic scholarships look at solely your grades, and that's how they're dispersed, whereas by application awards look at the factors that are relevant to that particular scholarships. The next question I see is an appointment to guide you through step by step into the university. So as students are admitted to McMaster and are researching and making those final decisions on whether or not you'd like to join us, we have our open house. You'll be able to connect with staff on our international as well as national recruitment and outreach team. And once you commit to McMaster, there are support staff who will be with you for 4 years who will connect and reach out to you about sessions that you can participate in, whether virtual or in person, on how to choose the relevant classes that are needed for your degree for year one. So absolutely, that is coming up. And as you're admitted, more information about that will be communicated to you. That is it in terms of questions that I'm seeing on my list here, which is also bringing us to the allotted time that we've set aside for this presentation. But I would, before we conclude, strongly encourage you to stay connected with McMaster. You can join us for a virtual tour. We are available through live chat. You can email our team international@mcmaster.ca if you're joining us from outside of Canada, or liaison@mcmaster.ca if you're a student here in Ontario or in any other part of Canada. We also have our social media. Give us a follow on MacAdmit on a few of the platforms where we're present, or you can scan the QR code to sign up to our newsletter. Pardon me, we also have our May at Mac open house if you're joining us here in Ontario. Wonderful opportunity to connect with students, staff, and instructors about the McMaster experience and help use that to help inform your journey. At this point in time, I will conclude there. And again, thank you for joining us.